Welcome back to the Operation Freedom YouTube channel. What we do here is shine the light of truth on the deep state. They hate that. We do it figuratively with our presentations. We do it literally with our sponsor's product, PatriotLegacy.com. PatriotLegacy.com, featured product of theirs, the Patriot Beacon. 6 overall lighting functions. In addition, solar powered, don't need batteries. You can charge your other devices like your phone from it. In addition, you got a compass, you got a window breaking hammer, and you got a seatbelt cutter. Plus, if those deep state dweebs get just a little bit too close to you, blast them with this. They're gone. Go to patrioticlegacy.com, patrioticlegacy.com. Get yourself, your kids, your grandkids, your car. Can carry it with you anytime. patrioticlegacy.com, the Patriot Beacon. Hi, I'm Dr. Dave Janda. Welcome back to Operation Freedom Briefings. The goal of these briefings in my weekly radio show, Operation Freedom, is to provide you information the bought-off lamestream fake media will not touch and will not present. You can join me on the radio show every Sunday. It's free from 2 to 5 Eastern. All you have to do is go to davejanda.com. Right in the middle of the homepage toward the top, there's a listen button. Hit that. Join us for great guests, great analysis, and information the fake media will never touch on. Our goal is to empower you with facts and truth-based analysis. In so doing and empowering you, I believe we bring this reign of terror that the deep state has inflicted, not just upon our country, but upon the world for decades. We bring it to an end much quicker. Today's topic is President Trump, Iran, Soleimani, and the deep state. Soleimani has been portrayed a number of different ways over the past several days since his death. If you believe the New York Times, he was a lover of poetry and a kind gentleman who was worried about being left behind. I kid you not. But what do you expect out of the bought-off lamestream fake media and their little tentacle, the New York Times? Because the bought-off lamestream fake media is nothing more than a tentacle of the deep state. They're a propaganda arm. Yet, people continue to read the New York Times and, what's even worse, believe what's there. Well, they portrayed Soleimani as a kind man, a gentleman, a lover of poetry. Right. Lover of poetry. It's a mass murderer. He wore a number of hats. The hat that the deep state wants to just place on him and say this is what he was a general in the Iranian military, in particular the Iranian Republican Guard Corps, and in sub-particular their Quds Force. And they never go into detail about the Quds Force. The Quds Force is a terrorist organization, period. Now that's the hat that they want to put on him. But he wore multiple hats. And the other hat he wore, which was even a bigger hat, was, I believe, Soleimani was the head of terror operations for the international deep state. Period. In my lifetime, and I'm an old guy, I believe the takedown of Soleimani is the takedown of the number one terrorist in my lifetime. He's that evil, and he's that sinister. Soleimani was responsible for tens of thousands of people's deaths, not just in Iraq or Iran or the Middle East, but around the world. This guy's finger was in every terrorist pie. He's been around for 40 years. He started his reign of terror for the deep state back in 1979. And it ended on January 2nd, 2020. It's been depicted that President Trump, if you listen to the people that go to the Golden Globes or read the New York Times or on MSNBC or whatever we want to call it, MSDNC, that President Trump could well have started World War III by the assassination of Soleimani. Well, there's another way to look at it. and I believe one that's more analytical and more factually based. As I understand it from my sources, Soleimani was in the end stage of planning for massive terror events, not just in the Middle East, but around the world, that were all tied together. The goal of which was not only to inflict death and destruction and chaos, which is the business model of the deep state. And as the head of terror operations for the deep state, that was his gig. But it was also to push the hands of the leaders in the West, in particular President Trump, into what the deep state has craved for years, World War III. That the death and destruction and the chaos and the magnitude of the terrorist attacks that Soleimani was in the process of implementing would be so huge, there would be no other option than massive war. Remember, the deep state loves massive war because out of war, they get more power, more control, more money. And their added benefit, as they see it, is that millions of us, the non-elites, that they call useless eaters, millions of us, die. They're evil. And they're sick. And Soleimani was the head of top terror operations for that organization. Prior to him dying, the United States Embassy in Baghdad was attacked. The person that led the attack, that was on the ground, Soleimani was involved reportedly in a command and control, if you will, role, off-site. But the person on site in the attack at our embassy in Baghdad was an individual by the name of Hadi al-Amiri. Hadi al-Amiri. Now, he happened to be arrested through our military the night Soleimani was killed. But remember, our embassy was attacked on December 31st, 2019. The reason why you haven't heard hardly anything about this guy in the bought-off lamestream fake media, tentacle of the deep state, is because there are pictures that have been circulated of al-Amiri being a guest at the Obama White House in 2011 at a meeting in the Oval Office with other dignitaries from the Middle East. He was there. Reportedly, so was Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton. So the bought-off lamestream fake media has been instructed by their handlers in the deep state, don't talk about this al-Amiri guy, because there's photo evidence linking him to Obama, Clinton, and Biden. This from Breitbart. Iranian militia leader leading Iraq U.S. Embassy raid, is on December 31st, 2019, listed as Obama White House guest. Iranian militia leader Hadi al-Amiri, one of the several identified as leading an attack on U.S. Embassy in Baghdad on Tuesday, December 31st, 2019, reportedly visited the White House in 2011 during the presidency of Barack Obama. Some people are surprised by that. Why would you be surprised by that? Barack Obama had a number of members of the Muslim Brotherhood in his own administration. The Muslim Brotherhood, a terrorist organization. Barack Obama installed the Muslim Brotherhood, along with Hillary Clinton, his Secretary of State, in Egypt. Now, the citizens of Egypt were so outraged over this, they ended up throwing out Morsi from the Muslim Brotherhood out of Egypt. But Obama was responsible for installing him. And Obama was also involved in weaponizing that benevolent terror group, ISIS. Many people outside that window believe that's heresy, that's hyperbole, that's conspiracy theory. No, it's It might be conspiracy, but it's conspiracy fact. In fact, that's the reason why General Michael Flynn has been one of the reasons why he's been targeted by the deep state. They didn't want him in that position of National Security Advisor to Donald Trump because he knew where all the bodies were buried. General Flynn, when he was director of the Defense Intelligence Agency, testified to Congress behind closed doors under oath. And he outed about how Barack Obama and his Secretary of State Hillary Clinton was involved in a weapons running operation through Benghazi. He blew the whistle. And for that, the deep state decided they were going to make him pay.